Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we have something very cool to check out. Something I don't normally check out, something in general, like this entire review is something I don't normally do, because I first of all never usually review the Funko Pop figures. Even though I do collect a lot of the Jurassic World ones, I don't normally review them. But on top of that, I also don't normally even take them out of the box. I usually keep them in the boxes, and that's just the way I have them here in my collection. But we have two brand new ones out, and I absolutely could not live with myself unless I actually took them out of the box to check them out together. And I figured if I'm gonna do that, I might as well just review them and see how the reviews do. If you guys enjoy them, maybe I'll review more Pop Funko stuff in the future. But you can see we have two brand new Jurassic Park 30th anniversary releases. You may not be able to see too well exactly what's going on inside the packaging currently because there's so much of a glare. But we have the Tyrannosaurus Rex, Breakout, T-Rex, and the Alan Grant sets. Both are two different sets. They retail for about $39.99, which I think is a bit expensive considering this stuff. I would have expected it to have been around the $30 range, but you know, it creates the entire scene of the T-Rex Breakout in Jurassic Park, but in Pop Funko form, which is super cool and something, again, that I definitely could not say no to. As far as the packaging goes, of course, you could see the back of the boxes have the same thing, but you can now see how it all kind of combines to create one really cool diorama. So definitely excited to break these open and check them out, so let's pop them out of the boxes right now. So first of all, I want to say how much I love this little backdrop that we have on the inside of the packaging. That is as awesome as it gets. Talk about screaming Jurassic Park, even though obviously some of the dinosaurs we see here are Jurassic World versions of the dinosaurs. It's still really cool, definitely gives you the feel and the vibes of Jurassic Park. So a great addition to the 30th anniversary packaging. Definitely a really cool thing to have displayed behind the models. But as far as the actual models or figures or whatever you'd like to call them go, there is our Alan Grant and the Ford Explorer, and then here is our T-Rex and the Ford Explorer, and you can see once we get them in the right spot, there we go. We now have the diorama set up and complete, and look at how awesome that looks. Like, I was never able to, wasn't lucky enough or rich enough to afford any of the amazing collectibles that have been released in the past kind of displaying this scene. I believe, I think it was Iron Studios had like a full massive diorama created, potentially in like 1/10 scale, where they had this entire scene taking place, which was unbelievable, but not something I could ever afford. So I have the next best thing, I guess, kind of. I have the Pop Funko version, and again, it looks awesome. They really did a great job of bringing this scene to life, including the fact that they have like the fence back there ripped apart, and you know, including that paddock area back there behind it is just a really nice touch. So definitely excited about this. Can't wait to get a closer look at it, so let's jump to it right now. So starting with the Alan Grant side of things, we've got, again, a really cool Funko Pop version of Alan Grant. He looks pretty much as they usually do. You know, you've got the big exaggerated head, big exaggerated eyes and eyebrows, and then, of course, no mouth or anything like that. But he looks pretty darn good, looks, again, like they usually do. As you move down into his actual outfit, you can see, again, he's wearing the classic Alan Grant clothing here, and it's all very nicely sculpted. There's nice wrinkling and everything within the clothes. You can see everything is painted very beautifully. Like, you could see quite a bit going on for his belt and everything, his watch, all very nicely painted, even all the way down here into his boots. And the fact that they've actually painted out the shoelaces and everything. So really nice as far as that goes. He also has his flare, which you can see. And I love the fact that they've given the flare kind of like a translucent sort of a look. Really giving you that kind of realistic smoke kind of look. And, you know, the most realistic way possible that I think that you could get with a Funko Pop version. But it looks very, very cool. I like that aspect of the figure, of the model. And I did notice that he actually has articulation here in his neck. So you can turn the head and neck and pose that area however you would like, which is really cool. And I do, again, enjoy that aspect, even though I would probably prefer to have him facing the T-Rex. But as you look down here at the actual base, you can see that we have replicated the exact area, the exact moment and everything that the scene is taking place, because we've got that kind of muddy sort of a look down here. Nice earthy texturing, but you can see again that we've got like puddles and stuff, and the puddles do have almost like that kind of genuine sort of wet look, which is nice. You know, it's not perfect, but I think it does have kind of a wet look to it. You can even see the tires there sinking into the mud for the Explorer. And as you move up into the Explorer itself, it does look very cool. Again, absolutely capturing the colors of the Jurassic Park Ford Explorer very nicely. We have the classic logo right there on the side of the Ford Explorer, and then you can see the numbers and everything. It would have been cool if they had, like, even at the very least, put like a sticker of Ian there on the inside, because we know at this point he would have been sitting on the inside of the vehicle, but it still looks really cool. And you can see again that we've got, if his hat wasn't in the way, you've got the Jurassic Park logo there on the front of the Explorer. And then if you take a look down here, you can see the headlights and everything are all painted very nicely. It definitely would have been cool if they could have like added lights or something into this. But again, I'm just kind of thinking of what could improve this, but not exactly what they would do, because that's not the type of thing you normally do. I think it's already as awesome as it could probably get for a Funko Pop version. You can see the trackway here moving along the center, and then as you lead back, you can see that we've again got the fence and everything here. We have the Danger 10,000 volt sign, exactly as you see placed on the fences at Jurassic Park, and you can also see we've got the lights and everything, which is really nice. Very nice kind of silver sort of coloration to everything here, and you can see again where the fence was broken off here as the T-Rex broke out. Everything looks awesome on this one. Even when you come over here to the opposing side, it still looks super, super cool. And the underside as well has, again, that same similar style texturing to what we see on the upper side. But that is absolutely epic. And then as we come to the T-Rex side, you can now see again, we have the same style of base and everything going on here. You can see that we do actually have a footprint for the T-Rex in the mud. That as well again has been kind of filled up with water as it's raining and everything. The T-Rex itself has its foot there up on the Explorer as it's kind of crushing it down into the ground. You can even see the tire being kind of pushed in right there, which is just, again, really nice attention to detail here. And the Rex itself looks pretty much as a usual Funko Pop version of a T-Rex looks, again with the larger head, but there is some really nice coloration on this one, because we have nice variations of browns. You can see a little bit of a darkening around the eye, and again some darker tones of brown up here, and you can see that as you lead through the course of the body, you again have the darker tones of brown, the somewhat lighter tones, and you even have lighter tones of color, kind of like maybe like some khakis or something there on the underside of the Rex. It looks really good. The nails are painted as well, which is always something that's very nice to see, even on the fingers. And then, of course, our Rex has its mouth sculpted in an open position. We've got the tongue sculpted out in there. The teeth are all sculpted individually, all painted very nicely. Nice big black eye for the T-Rex. And again, of course, when it comes to this type of figure, the Tyrannosaurus is very much so an exaggerated version of a Jurassic Park T-Rex, but it looks really cool. I honestly think the only thing that could have improved this a little bit more would have been if they had used the larger T-Rex for this side of things, because they do actually have kind of like a supersized version of the T-Rex they've released a few times now, and it definitely would have been cool to see that version of the T-Rex, of course on this side, because it would have been a little bit more to scale. But at the same time, it is still really cool to even have the smaller version. But you can see as you move back here, you again have the wheel of the Explorer here. But then as you move over, you can see the tire is torn off here. It would have been neat if they actually had included the torn off tire in the mouth kind of hanging out like you see in the film. But as you move along, you can see the Explorer looks really nice, just like it did on the first Explorer. We had taken a look at it. Obviously, is crushed down now into the mud. Maybe a little bit more than you actually see in the film, because at this point, I think Tim would have been dead, and so would Lex. But it looks really cool regardless. You can see the underside of the Explorer is very nicely detailed as well. And then yet again, we have the fence and everything over here. And everything looks, again, really nice. I love how they've sculpted out the actual wire here for the fence in a kind of relaxed sort of a way, because obviously the Rex has split the wire right there, which caused it to kind of go limp, and that's exactly how they've sculpted that out over here as well. So this looks super cool, just like with the other one. Again, it all looks great from no matter what side you view it from, no matter what visual you take of it. It looks epic when it comes to a Funko Pop version. This is definitively my new favorite Funko Pop Jurassic Park or Jurassic World release. And there isn't any kind of way to actually connect the two, but if you just line up the tracks, because you can see the track here coming out of the other side, if you line those up, I don't know if maybe if we just line the front up, yeah, even if you just line it up here from the front and allow that to kind of continue through, it lines up pretty much perfectly, I would say, and definitely creates the coolest Funko Pop display I've ever seen. As far as a size goes, for a length, we're going to measure the entire diorama. You are looking at about 17 3/4 inches, or about 45 centimeters, and if you go for just one, you are looking at about 8 3/4 inches, or around 22.5 centimeters, somewhere in that vicinity. You're not going to get much in the way of a height or anything, because the highest point, I guess, would be the fence. So if we just go and check that out back there, about a little short of 6.5 inches, or just shy of about 16.5 centimeters. For a size comparison, we've got Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, and Robert Muldoon from the Mattel Jurassic World toy line. Maybe we'll put the Attack Pack Colovosaurus up there for a little bit of a closer, more well-placed comparison. But you can see, again, they're all pretty much the size you would expect them to be. The Allen is definitely like your standard-sized Funko Pop, and I don't feel like we really need to do a lot of comparisons this time around, because if you are a Funko collector, or even if you are a collector in general, I would like to think at this point you've probably seen some Funko Pop figures in your life at some point, so you'll very much so have a pretty good idea already of what the size is. But if not, then hopefully these figures here next to this will help you out. So this brand new Funko Pop Jurassic Park 30th Anniversary T-Rex Breakout scene is awesome. Definitely the best release I think Funko Pop could have come out with when it comes to a Jurassic Park 30th Anniversary release. I don't know what else they have coming out. If anything, I haven't really been following the Funko Pop stuff too much, but I stumbled upon these at my local Target when I had acquired the Super Colossal Indoraptor, and, you know, when I had seen them, I was like, wow, that is really cool. Not my favorite price in the world, but still really cool, so I had to grab these. But again, when it comes to Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park, easily the most iconic scene, in my opinion, for that film would be the T-Rex breakout scene. I feel like that's the scene that put everyone in a state of awe and just amazement over how impressive this film truly was, and you could just tell with that scene how historic of a film it was and was going to be moving into the future. So again, when it comes to what you would like to see for a Jurassic Park 30th Anniversary sort of diorama, I think that's the best one they could go with, and they absolutely nailed it. I think they did a great job on everything here. If you are familiar with the Funko Pop line, you'll be very familiar with the way the figures look and the stylized appearance to them, and I think they did a great job on everything here. Alan looks awesome. I love his flare. I love the translucency to the smoke of the flare. His entire appearance looks really good. Again, classic Alan Grant. You can also see the Ford Explorers look fantastic. I love the little additions they've put into this, like the tire being kind of pushed in and the one tire being gone from the other side, just like you see in Jurassic Park. The actual paintwork and everything is really nice, really high quality on all of that. The base itself looks great with the kind of muddy sort of look, the rainy sort of look, of course, would be occurring when this scene takes place, and the footprint in the mud filling up with water. And then, of course, the T-Rex itself also has a nice appearance, also has some nice paintwork. As I said earlier, I would have liked to have seen maybe like the supersized T-Rex included in this, just to give it more of like a accurate comparison, but he would have really needed to have been supersized to compare next to a standard Funko Pop Alan Grant, because he's already a pretty big figure, so it would have had to have been a pretty large T-Rex. So I guess I can understand why they went this route. And of course, again, because these are kind of goofy and just stylized, it works perfectly. The fence in the background is also a great touch. So as a whole, this is easily my new favorite Funko Pop release. I've got a lot of the other stuff, but this is definitely the best of all. I can't see anything else competing with this, in my opinion, because again, I am a massive Jurassic Park fan, so having this scene in a Funko Pop version is definitely the coolest thing I could think of releasing from them. So if you are interested, head to your local Target. I don't know if they're actually for sale online on Target's website. I'll have to check, and maybe you can get a hold of one of these Pop Funko sets from Target.com. I will check again, and if that is the case, I will include a link in the description for you to grab them. But otherwise, again, like I said, check your local Target. Mine had them, so hopefully yours will as well. And also like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.